Hi, and welcome to another very exciting tutorial. And a very quick tutorial indeed. Today we're going to make a very cool animation that looks like this. So if you like this product that we're displaying in our shop, you can press this like this product button and get this nice animation. And the cool thing about that is that we don't have to write a single line of code. And what we are going to do is we're going to use Lottie, which is a mobile library that natively renders vector-based animations and art in real time with minimal code. I've already done some tutorials on Lottie a few years ago, so you might want to check them out. They're UI kit based, but still you're going to learn how to use After Effects to create your own animations and then import them into Xcode and use them together with UIKit. You could use some of these approaches also in SwiftUI, but today I'd just like to show you how to use Lottie animations that have already been created and then use them in your own projects. And the cool thing is, since I did the first tutorials on Lottie, a lot has happened, and now we have websites like, for example, this lottiefiles.com. And what I can do here is, for example, I can search for something like, and then get already made cool animations like the one that we're going to use that already has been downloaded over 2,000 times. And we're going to use that in our project now in a second. So in my starter project, what I've done is just created a very simple layout with this heading. We have a nice picture of these oranges, and we have this like this product button. And there is really nothing fancy about that. You can see the code right here. So this is what our user interface will look like. And once we click on the like this product button, our animation is going to be played. Now, Lottie animations are based on a JSON export of these animations. And you either do that yourself with a body movement plugin using After Effects, or you use these pre-made animations. And once you click on them, you can even customize them here a little bit using lottiefiles.com. And you can also download the JSON file. Now, I already did this, so all I have to do is really drag and drop my JSON file into my project, add this to my targets. And what I also have to do is, of course, download the library that we're going to use. So therefore, all you really need to do is go to GitHub or use the GitHub URL that is also linked in the video description below. And then in Xcode, we can actually just use Swift packages, add a package dependency, paste that package right here, or paste that URL into our package manager, and then just hit next. And then we're getting this Swift package. And once we can hit the finish button, we can now use Lottie in our project. There is one recommendation if you have a look at the GitHub website here, and when we're using this repository and together with the Swift package manager, it is suggested that we should deactivate dead code stripping, set this to no in our build settings. So all we have to do is actually open up our project, click on our project, go to the build settings. You're just going to search for stripping. If in your case this shouldn't be displayed, then make sure that not basic is selected here, but all, and then we can just set this to no, and we should be able to compile everything just fine. At the moment, Lottie is not compatible with SwiftUI per se, so we cannot just add this as a view into our user interface, which means we have to use a UIViewRepresentable, but that's very easy. So let's just create a new Swift file. Hit next. Let's call that maybe Lottie View. And what we have to import is, of course, SwiftUI. We also have to import Lottie. And then we can create our struct, our Lottie view, which is a UIViewRepresentable. And if you create such a UIViewRepresentable, you always have to create at least two functions. The first one is make UIView, or you have to add these functions. It's a requirement by our protocol. And you have to add update UIView. And we can even specify already that the view that we'd like to return is not a simple UI view, but an animation view, which is the view that really drives Lottie. And there is another class in the background called animation, but we're just going to use the animation view right here. So I'm going to create a Lottie animation view right here, initialize that with animation view, and now it's as simple as just specifying the name of the JSON file that we've added to our project, which is just like. And with that, we have created our animation view, which we can return right here. And to test our animation, we can now, before return, we can actually play the animation. So let's use Lottie animation view and just hit play right there. And then we can open up our content view and make sure that our canvas is running. And then we just have to add our Lottie view right there. And then we can have a look at how this looks. So now let's just have a live preview here, and as you can see, we have our animation and it stops, and now what we'd like to do is actually trigger that animation every time we really like this product or press that button. And this is very simple since we can use combine for that and just create a binding in our Lottie view just to see when the animation should actually be in progress. So to create that binding, I'm going to add a state property in our content view. I'm going to call that animation in progress, and I'm going to set this to false for now. And what we are going to do in our button is the button action is simply going to be to toggle this animation in progress bool to set that actually to true. And once our animation finishes, we're going to set this to false, and what we can do is actually wrap our animation into an if statement, or just wrap that around. So we're going to say if our animation is in progress, then we'd like to display our Lottie view, and to actually create this binding between our content view and the Lottie view UIViewRepresentable, we're going to create a binding property in the Lottie view that I just opened, and this is going to be also animation in progress, and this of course is going to be a Boolean property. And the cool thing about Lottie here is that it gives us a completion handler for the play method, and I can add this handler right here. And this bool that we get is actually a completion bool, so complete. And if our animation is complete, we're going to set the animation in progress to false, because then the animation really is over. So going back into our content view, all we have to do now is pass along our animation in progress binding. So I'm going to add my Lottie view here again, and so that there can be an interaction between our UIViewRepresentable and our content view here, I'm going to use a $sign here and pass along animation in progress. And now if I resume my canvas here, and we still have the live preview online right there, we can like this product, and every time we press the button, we get this nice animation. And this is actually how simple it is to add Lottie animations to SwiftUI and also interact with them. I hope you will find this useful and this enhances your user interfaces. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you liked what you've seen, and if you don't want to miss any future tutorials, and maybe you also want to hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.